Alright, welcome to episode 26 of History Rewritten. Last time we saw lots of colonialism, basically. That was pretty major stuff of the last episode. So the green country, the red country, terracotta, the pink one, the Granadan country, they've all got loads more colonies. And even the purple country made a landing in South America. I mean, so did the Granadan one. But they discovered it, so that's cool. And also, our colonies country did loads of exploration and has ended up in Alaska, so it's cool. And also Norway owns like the entire eastern coast of Greenland now, so go Norway. If they retain this, it's a bit oil. Also fishing. That's why Norway didn't join the EU, because they like fishing, which is cool. Anyway, that's random. The other event we saw, it's pretty unimportant for today's episode, but some random, really aggressive dictator who wants to unite loads of the red peoples together got control of the red country. So I doubt that will be very important. You just have to wait and see though. Anyway, I'm going to be referring to what happens in today's video as the dictator instead of the red team, because this is not normal red team activity which may be occurring in today's video. This dictator is all about, he's trying to reform this really powerful red team country, and although they are the most powerful country, he wants to rule pretty much everything the red team could have possibly owned, and it's like near the red team, even some stuff they haven't owned. Sorry. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know, might be alright. He's going to start off his conquests by declaring war on 3 countries at once. These 3. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, so he's going to make a push first into the northern regions of both these countries, kind of starting off in the greyish one, where we'll immediately take the capital, and then there is quite literally nothing left there. So he takes that very easily, and then moves in and quite quickly captures green country, and from there, yeah, they just waltz into that one and take it down almost immediately. The red country's already the dictator's already taken down 3 countries. Also, I'd like to mention that this blue country is also in this war, kind of helping the red team out, because this new dictator hasn't been in for very long. The blue team, they had a change of heart recently because of the amount of times the red teams protected the blue team from all these other invaders and made sure they'd be fine and given them land and all this sort of stuff. Now, you know what, the red team does actually care about what happens to us, and they're kind of cool like that. So, also, it appears they have 2 capital cities. Right, no, don't worry, there's loads of random people with loads of capital cities because they haven't been bothered to change them. Like this one, I think might still be a capital city. The red team one is right in the middle in Baghdad sort of area. So that's cool. This is actually the old green team capital, their first capital, which is interesting. Anyway, that's random. But they managed to take out these countries pretty easily. This one was the strongest, and it fell apart. This was like probably 2 weeks of work, maybe a bit more. Anyway, the next country on their list is this brownish coloured one. Not that one. This one is not going to be tricky. It has 1 major city, and they take it down within a week or so. From there, they are moving eastwards towards this purplish country. Now, they are significantly stronger than the other ones the red team has had to fight beforehand. And yeah, that's because they have this entire massive coastline. They are in between all these different trade routes, Indian trade route. I think this one might go slightly into their country and then go up here and also along this way. So there's loads of trade routes that go through at least a slight part of their country, and they've got a big coastline. However, they're not a top 10 nation. They're probably not even a top 20 nation. I don't know what the top 20 countries are, but I can guarantee they're probably not on this list. I can guarantee they are probably not. Wow. That is certainty. Anyway, the red team will make a push towards this major city and capture it within 2 days or so. From there, they send another division to go capture this major city, and now they're going to go along the northern border of the green team and also along the coast. Various landings are being made, supplies are being dropped off and stuff, until they reach the gates of the capital city for this purplish country. And in a matter of time, pretty quick, they take this capital city, and the rest of the country is just sent into anarchy. It takes a lot longer to get through this area because there's a lot of mountains, and it's not fun terrain. So the red team does spend a significant amount of time trying to find people in villages and destroy them and stuff. Because there's some soldiers left out there, they're ambushing and whatever. But the people, nobody's caring for the people at all. So, although, they have a relative amount of, what's the word? I don't know, who cares? That thing where you can look after yourself. Oh well, never mind. Self-sufficient. They're self-sufficient-ish. However, it's not a great place to grow stuff, and people, of course, aren't trading with this country, and they got most of their food imports through trade, because, this is mostly just trade along here. Well, there's only 2 major cities, so maybe I'm just lying. However, this entire place goes straight into anarchy. Sorry, that's fun. And there's people just robbing each other for food, burning down places. The red team's kind of like, I didn't ask you to help, but sure. And there's one major city left. There's just loads of people trying to find, whatever it's called, nothing, home within this place. So people are just breaking into other people's houses to take things from them because they'll have nothing. There's even a few traders who are left within the country and aren't allowed to leave the country to try and go to the red bit and claim like, oh well, we're not from this country, you don't need to attack us. Because they're like, oh, you're gonna give them information or tell our place or whatever. So there's those other people who are trapped here, and some of them are even being killed because, merchants and traders are quite rich, generally. However, in the end, they eventually managed to take down the country and take the last major city. So that was quite a long war, and it was kind of brutal in some parts. However, now the red team government is kind of split. Of course they have a king, but there's also lots of advisors and stuff, and they're quite important. But there's 2 trains of thought within the red team. Train number 1 is called Thomas. No. There's a blue train. No. What's the green train called? I feel like it's Pete or something. As James the red train is Gordon. No, Gordon's a pain. I don't know, I'm talking about Thomas the Tank Engine now. This is irrelevant stuff. Train number 1 is we attack the yellow team because we don't like the yellow team because they've been a pain. And also we claim a load of their land and they broke away from us and all this stuff. However, some people are arguing, we'll be pretty far into European territory, and anyone like this, so the Balkans aren't very powerful, but Crimea, the sludge nation could go through the salmon country, or the sort of Crimean one, Greece. They could all try and take the land away because they'd be so far separated from the capital of the red team. Train number 2, I realize there's 3 trains. Train number 2 is attack Eritrea, because these guys, they have this random island the red team took, which broke away during the plague, so you could go after them. And train number 3 is attack the North African Alliance. Yep, just attack this thing and Catalonia. Train number 2 sounds like the best idea, so they're going to go for that one. Because nobody down here likes Eritrea. In fact, Eritrea has 2 neighbours, unless you count sea borders, in which they have 3. That's crazy. And Sudan literally jumped into war just so they could take this major city. And these guys, the blue country, they just really hate them because these guys broke away from them. Didn't they? And also then revolted and took their land and stuff like that. Sorry, yes, the red team's going to come down towards Eritrea and attempt to take some of this land. They land by this major city and take it easily. Like the day. This country is not very powerful. The blue country sometimes has a moment like, how about we just do something to just be mean to the green country, and they'll go and blockade this entire bit. They'll let orange team ships through. Sometimes even the orange team will help blockade, because these guys, they're good friends because they're religious stuff. They are both just highly, highly religious. So, they're quite good friends. I mean, so are the Eritreans, but, oh well, the Pope. Yeah, these guys are still theocratic, so a religious leader is still at the head of their country, like a guru or the Pope. It's like if the Vatican was in Yemen. Anyway, the red team's going to continue their push towards the capital, and it doesn't take very long until they arrive in Djibouti, cut around this bit, and go over here. So, at this one day, they've captured Ethiopia's coastline. Another country is going to third party this war against Eritrea. It's worth mentioning. These wars are all separate. You know, this is already 4 wars, technically. This war was just one war because they declared it all at once. And these guys were meant to work together, however they didn't, because they don't care, they just wanted to survive. So, the blue team won't be joining any of the future wars with the red team unless they do. So the blue team is going to move in towards these areas over here, and take this city. They're going to continue along the Somaliland area and take this major city, and the red team is just going to look at some of the interior. You know, Sudan was kind of wondering about joining this war, but in the end they didn't, and the blue team's taken these last 2 areas, so just before the red team could. And, yeah. Now the blue team kind of really wants to annex some of this land, but all this land is kind of being occupied. Just then I don't forget what it looks like. Future stuff, like for peace treaties and whatever. You know, some of these countries might survive the red team onslaught. However, this one we'll just go to at the moment because I don't care. Because the blue team is very adamant about annexing green team territory, in which they take all 3 of these provinces right about here. And they're just going to leave it like that. The red team is going to be like, well, sure, we'll just annex this then. So for the moment, I've just destroyed their capital. Actually, they kind of needed to do that. Wait a minute. Boom. For the moment, this is part of the red team country. Will it stay like this for the entire episode? Don't skip to the end to find out. I will know. But yep, so the red team owns that as a colony now. Anyway, there's still true trains of thought left. And you've got to pick one of the trains. And the red team decides to pick recently demoted train number 3. Which is now train number 2, because train number 2 is gone. And if you don't remember, train number 3/2 was attack North Africa and Catalonia. And they're going to go ahead with this plan and attack these pretty old countries. Not pretty, no, mostly sand. An assault is going to start on the eastern coast of the blue country, and within a few days, they manage to take these major cities. Although they are very old major cities, their fortifications aren't much against the red team. The Sudanese are now kind of funding the red team a little bit. I mean, the red team doesn't need Sudanese funding. However, some of the countries that the red team's recently been attacking are ones the Sudanese country doesn't like, and you know, if they help fund the red team, they might get some land at the end of this war. So they're going to help the red team, not through military really though, like sending troops, by pushing into these southern areas. They're also going to, the red team's also going to push towards this area. Luckily the blue team capital is, you know, pretty far away from where the red team is, but that's not exactly stopping the red team. They make a slow advancement towards the major city, the capital. The blue country's leader, yeah, it's kind of mysterious what happened with that, but he died. I don't know how that happened, but he died. He wasn't even that old, and that's not even that old for the time. But he died, and so did the heir, and the next heir, until there was this one kind of really easily influenced guy left to become the king of the blue team. So now this really easily manipulable guy who feels strongly that he should reunite the blue country, which has a few territories that are now over across the Aegean Sea, is the king of the blue team. Which is kind of strange because like his entire idea mirrors the red team. It's almost as if the red teams or the dictators hired someone to go and kill the leaders of the blue team, and then getting this guy he's managed to manipulate to agree with his ideals. Mad. Anyway, this is going to lead the blue team to declare war on Crete. So they move in pretty quickly. Crete is not that powerful. They take this major city and this island. Of course, they're receiving lots of funding from the red team. However, the blue team isn't exactly like too weak. I hate getting all these islands. They take the islands, and they make their slow advancement towards the island of Crete, where they do not face that much opposition. It really doesn't take very long. They take Crete. Another country down. Next up, Canada. Yeah, the red team declares war on the Irish country. They probably have heard stories about Ireland, but I doubt there's literally anyone from the red team who's ever gone to Ireland. And that's the next ambition. And finally, they managed to take the capital of the blue country. So the Libyans are kind of pushing. However, Libya can't really afford to do this because every day the red team gets closer and closer to their country, and now it's not looking good. The red team has managed to separate a part of the purple country away from the rest of it, that part being, the capital area, which is pretty important. Oh yeah, also the red team subdues all this desert. So they do that, and it doesn't take too long before they manage to take the capital, and then the rest of the country falls into anarchy. The blue country is going to move from the west of the country to occupy this territory to stop the red team getting it, and now the red team's actually facing its first opposition. If we look at power rankings for a moment, sorry if that was really annoying, red team is obviously number 1 by a long shot, and number 2 is the lime team, number 3 is the sludge nation. Those are our top 3 countries. Don't know where Italy is now, it's kind of sad. Well, Italy. Number 4 is the blue country in North Africa, and number 5 is Crimea. Will these change in today's episode? Almost definitely. Number 6. I feel like I'm kind of underestimating the colonial countries. That's because I don't know. I just number 6, I think, would probably go to the green country, then North Africa, then the brown country in Caucasia for number 8. Number 9, let's say the orange country. And number 10, Grenada. Actually, maybe the terracotta one. Number 10, terracotta, then Grenada, then I don't know. One day I might actually try and draw out the power rankings for every episode, just because then you can look at the statistics of it. But Western Europe will get significantly stronger in the future. It's just what do you extract from Mexico? Except for land. Anyway, so the red team has got some pretty fierce fighting in this area. However, it's not that defended really. So it doesn't take too much for the red team to push through these fronts until they actually get to the pretty fortified areas of the blue team, because they've had a couple of weeks now, probably not quite a month, but near enough, to fortify the eastern areas of their country. They had absolutely no belief that these guys and their neighbours, their allies, would survive the onslaught the red team was handing out. So they just fortified themselves. I mean, of course, they sent troops, mostly volunteers, and they sent arms and stuff, muskets. However, they kept most of the thing in their country, just so that they could defend their own bit, because they're the best chance this alliance has got. Catalonia is sending a significant amount out to help, but it is getting pretty scary for a lot of countries, as another country will be having war declared upon it, and this time is Greece. So the red team and the blue team are both going to be moving into this country. So the blue team heads in from the south, whilst the red team heads in from the east, taking this major city pretty easily. They charge into this bit and spearhead towards taking this entire huge area, which they do pretty successfully, and now they're trying to separate the coast a bit. The southern blue country will take this area, and now they're getting pretty close to the capital, which lies in Euboea. They've already taken Athens, and they managed to liberate this entire peninsula. Well, not liberate, but and connect up with the red team, which means, it's a lot easier to give each other stuff. They are then going to just go and deal with some of these areas, weaken morale. They do need to save troops and stuff for other fighting. However, in the end, they'll go over to Euboea and take down the capital pretty easily, and then capture this major city in the north and that last province. So yeah, they are a lot of stuff. An awful lot of stuff. But yeah, fighting in the blue team is not going well for the blue team. That's for sure. As the red team manages to capture this major city over here, and in a week later, they take another. Don't worry about the concept of time for this video. I'm listing random times. Sound good enough? I'll probably just have like a few weeks of respite in between each bit. Not this fighting is constant. They managed to take more desert, however, this bit's the scary bit. So they're getting quite close to that. The blue team are sending off stuff between this area, and it's going to be very hard to get through this bit because there's an awful lot of boats. If you post a boat here, it can go boom, 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 boom. It can go literally anywhere on that area very quickly, and there's probably some tiny island right about here. Well, there's one there, but the red team will capture that. So they do manage to take this major city, but now it's going to get pretty difficult. Also, I think the blue team was meant to take Malta. Yeah, you take that, don't worry. You have Malta. Anyway, the red team and the yeah. I hope that was meaningful for you. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Yeah, sorry. The red team and the blue team will be declaring war on another country this time, and that country will be the yellow country. Finally, the dictator was kind of like, I don't care what you do. We're winning this. We're destroying everyone. Let's just go declare war on a load of countries. So he let those people, who are mostly sycophants. Sycophant is someone who agrees with another person's ideas. And it's really nice to someone to get power. Sounds like everyone who's in government at the moment. Or advising point. They managed to take a lot of this very quickly because the yellow country is impoverished. They're very poor. They've been through a lot of wars, and the entire eastern area falls over very quickly. There's not a lot of trade in Central Europe. However, the blue country, they're kind of alright because they have Crimea to look after them and make sure their economy's fine. The salmon nation's kind of alright because they're pretty big. They've got quite a lot of farmland just east of Austria in Hungary, a bit, Czechia, maybe, Slovakia. I don't need to name my countries. Is this Romania? No, it is because there's that bit, Transylvania. Yeah, so they're kind of in Romania a bit, I think. Also, probably a lot of Hungary. But the other country is somehow still surviving-ish. But another country will join this war against the other team, and that is this dark bluish one who doesn't like them very much. So they move in towards these western areas before the red team takes the capital because it was unprepared and weakened. So there you go. The front in Africa. People got kind of annoyed of random boat stuff, so they just kind of went, tell you what, we captured a load of desert. Ha! What you gonna do about that? And then they made a push towards this lake, and the blue team's kind of like, why are they going through the desert? They're not meant to go through the desert. The red team then captures Malta, and makes a push and captures Sicily. The blue team's like, hey, this is not my dad. What's going on? I'm scared. And now they're getting pretty close to really severely damaging the blue team, because the dictator does not care about how his people feel. It's kind of like trench stuff, but they're not in trenches because that idea hasn't been invented yet. Probably. It's like those sorts of, you go in these terrible conditions to fight a load of people. There's not much we can do about it. So here they could do stuff about it by just, bombarding them with navy stuff. They've got cannons. Cannons were made of the 13th. Cannons were created within the 13th century, I believe. And this is the late 15th century. So, it's kind of like they have cannons at the moment. But yeah, these people are going to push up through this interior area, and they're now making attacks on all of these major cities. I mean, if they cut off Tunisia, it's really not going to be good for the blue country. Not at all. I'm going to check the borders afterwards. Oh, damn. Anyway, the red country recently got a pretty funny idea. They're attacking some places which are relatively strong, some of them. But wouldn't it be more fun to go for a place that was slightly more challenging? Now, can anyone think of a place that is slightly more challenging? Unfortunately, the red team can, and that place is the brown country. So the red team will lead an invasion into the brown country, and although, the green team, they wanted to go here, they really want to destroy the brown country, they're not going to do that. The green country's just been perfectly still. They've just been like, no, don't look over here, don't look eastwards, because the red country is all about the moment just reforming their old empire. And you know who's like one of the first places to break away from the red country? The green country. Yeah. The green country is kind of like, uh-oh, don't come for me, let me be. So they're going to withhold from doing that, even though it could make them the red team ally. However, the red team really doesn't have anything against backstabbing people at the moment, so they're making a pretty good push towards taking a load of these brown country major cities. And they're even getting pretty close to Crimea. They go up around here and get right on the border of Crimea. And now a lot of the brown country coast has been captured, and they're taking more of this interior stuff towards the capital, which is one of the most fortified cities in the entire world, because there's a lot of stuff they can fortify yourself with there. Also, they're scared of the green team for like all of the past 4,000 years, or however many it is. And there's a lot of inspiration of how to fortify a place. But, yeah, some places had enough now. The red team loses the battle whilst they're trying to take the capital city, the brown country. And this inspires a lot of countries. Maybe not a lot, but some countries. Because they're like, well, wait a minute. People can actually fight back against the red team. It doesn't look like it. However, the brown country managed to. They're in like a top 10 country. So this leads to an extremely unlikely coalition forming between various countries who want to take down the red country. So the first country to join this is the blue Crimean nation, who is number 5 currently in the world. The green country, who is someplace in 6th, I think. They're like, alright, fine, we're going in. And also Ethiopia, because these guys, they're about to join this North African alliance. and Catalonia. So even though they helped to defeat Eritrea, they've seen what the red team's done. They've seen the new dictator's morals and stuff. And they're like, no, we need to stop this. And the last country to join this war is not maybe the one you'd expect. It is the purple country. They had to liberate the territories of the blue country. Wow, purple team. Such a good guy. But, you know, the red team is right there. They can easily take that major city. And you'd get money for it. And money's fun. Also, yeah, the Crimean country brings in its friend, this one. But yeah, let's see how that goes for them. So, first of all, let's look at Ethiopia. The red team has actually kind of been solidifying their assets down here in the Horn of Africa. And this guy hasn't really. And they kind of thought about it when they joined the war. But the red team went like, oh, we've annexed his stuff. Great, let's do some places with it. However, this is just taken from the annexed green team. And it's not that strong, really. So the red country makes some easy pushes into this area. You know, they go into the heartland where lots of the stuff has grown, because there's river area right here. And they capture a lot of this territory. Once again, Sudan really wants to join this war. However, they don't. And now the red team's trying to get towards the eastern coast, which is a pretty powerful economic area of the blue country, because it's where they trade with India. You know, India. Money. India is very rich. The military, although it's strong, is not as strong as the red team's yet. They captured the entire lime country. But their economy is very powerful. Anyway, the green country has kind of stocked this entire area full of people. They've just got a load of human meat shields over here, which causes one of the bloodiest battles in human history. I feel like I've said that quite a lot during these episodes, but they got a solid wall of people. A massive solid wall of people. And that's not easy for the red team to push through, and there's loads and loads of casualties on both sides. However, these guys kind of suffer a bit more. The brown country feels slightly more rejuvenated, and finally, a province is actually retaken over in this area because the red team stopped caring about it. And then there's a second one, because the red team's drawing their troops from these eastern areas to go and attack westwards into Crimea. It's not good if you're Crimea. So yeah, forces lead the charge into Crimea. Well, this is not Crimea, but it's near enough. It's the same country. And they take this major city. They are pushing towards Crimea, because there's quite a few cities over there. So they separate that area off and kind of go around the Sea of Azul, I want to say. They go up this bit slightly and then take this big city. So this is once again not good. There's a lot of things that aren't good today. They managed to take this major city, and now they are very, very close to capturing Crimea. But I like just look at the red team's empire. Canada. Go on. The red team has a massive empire. If they agree to peace at the moment, they could possibly annex a lot of this stuff. Like money. They make loads of dosh. But it is kind of stretching the red team's military forces, because they don't have infinite people, they don't have infinite money, they don't have infinite mercenaries. They do have infinite morale though. People are very encouraged to fight this. The purple team's military is nothing like how it used to be, and their southern regions fall away pretty quickly. The northern Italian country is actually kind of considering just jumping in and taking down the purple country, because they don't like them very much. And now they're getting quite close to taking down Naples, because this is not Rome. Rome is like here or something. Elba, Rome, Naples. This is not Elba, but those islands are. Anyway, they're going to manage to take down this major city, and yeah, let's look back at the Balkans. Blue country. You're strong, aren't you? Yeah, super strong. I don't think so. The red team takes that major city very quickly, and also the southern Crimean one. And now Crimea is being pushed from 2 directions. No, good idea. The Sludge Nation's kind of wondering, maybe we should help Crimea, but also maybe we should jump on the back of Crimea, because, you know, their relation with Crimea is alright. So, it's shaky. They like each other for trade, but other than that, there's not too many great things about each other. So the Sludge Nation could go either way, but there's dark blue country. Light dark blue. It's not going either way. Their capital is pretty much all they have left, and it's really not looking good. A defensive is going to be led from their territory, and that seizes another massive area of Crimean country territory. Oh indeed. The red team will go through the western bit and meet up with the border of the Sludge Nation over in Crimea. And finally they take down the light blue country. The green team stuff, it's not quite going perfectly, as more territories from the green team are annexed, including territories from the brown team as well, as they connect up with the green team over here and annex this pretty large area. However, more countries are inspired to join the war against the red team, such as Grey Country. I'm only joking, they wouldn't do that. That would not be a good idea. But again, I wasn't joking about more countries joining the war, as, pretty surprisingly, the Sludge Nation, even though I said they might not, they got offered a really huge load of money, and they are going to join this war and try and help out Crimea, which is not entirely going to work, but it's going to draw forces away from Crimea, because they just lost another huge amount of land, and another massive front line is set up here, with the red team based in the old capital of the light dark blue country. So that's cool. Over in North Africa, the capital of this blue country has been taken. Yeah, this is kind of a bit like the Ottoman Empire in a way. Sudan's just absolutely surrounded by red team. Wait a minute, they actually are. Port Sudan. The red team is going to actually make some ground within the Sludge Nation. There's a lot of cities down here though, so it is pretty hard going. However, they managed to take one, and the morale boost for these people, although they are so far away from home at the moment, they're in like Belarus or something. They're feeling proud. And finally they managed to make a landing in the Crimean Peninsula, take this major city, and they're now pushing towards the capital of the blue country, until finally they take it. Uh-oh indeed. That same day, another capital city is going to get taken. This time it's the capital of the entire brown country, and yeah, the brown country falls apart also. Sorry. Yippee. The brown country is down. I should have. I'm realizing something now. Let's just get up episode 25, which you should watch. Take a screenshot of the borders. Just in case I have to redraw them. For any random reason, I know what they look like. But yeah, this kind of alarm bell to lots of countries in this general area. By this general area, I mean like this general area. And like Kamchatka's fine, but Australia, Argentina, Quebec, they're all terrified. Yeah. And finally, one of the countries will dig itself into this war. That wasn't worded correctly, but the blue team. Duh. Yeah, these guys, no. The lime team will join this war. I'm crazy at this. The Light Team would join this war and start liberating areas of this country. The Red Team didn't have many people occupying this territory because there wasn't much point. It was all anarchist anyway. They put in a puppet leader. But yeah. So they start liberating. I just started liberating. Liberty. What's that thing, isn't it? And yeah, the Red Team weren't expecting this. That's the best way to put it. And they're actually getting pretty close to taking one of the major cities down in this area, as there's lots of fighting that occurs in the Persian Gulf. They push on this and take this entire swathe of mountain. But we also see the Lime sycophant country, who manages to rid the Red Team troops from the Green Team. Finally, so that was pretty good. This episode might be also extremely long. Now we have lots of Green Team countries working together to try and stop the Red Team. The Purple Team is holding out in the Italian peninsula. The Blue Team's holding out. The Catalonian forces are arriving, and we see the Purple and the Pink country also join this war, as well as Morocco and Grenada, which is surprising. So France, all of Iberia, Morocco, they've all joined this war. They're sending their troops. We see this dark bluish country, the Salmon country. You know, the Lime Team joining this war really inspired a lot of people. Ethiopia even manages to hold out for a bit longer. You know, they were about to fall over. I didn't just forget about them. However, the capital of Crimea still manages to stay captured, unfortunately. Which? Oh yeah. The Sludge Nation will actually manage to liberate their two major cities that got taken. I think it was only two. I want to say it was only two. And they need to get down to liberating some other areas. Damn it. As they move in and manage to retake the capital of the light dark blue country. You see, it's like a lightish dark blue. You know? Go. This looks about right. And also the Salmon country joined the war, so they're liberating areas of the Yellow country, much of their dislike. Actually, no, these guys probably occupied that. Let's say the Red Team took it off their hands. Shh, don't worry. And now this entire western front is going to fall apart. Oh, damn it. What did I do? Anyway, this entire massive western front will fall apart over here, as more areas of the light blue country get liberated. It's pretty good for them. However, they need to focus on Crimea significantly. Because Crimea is in a bad way at the moment. You know, they're focusing down the Balkans because there's a lot of countries in the Balkans. And, you know, a lot of countries means hopefully a lot of people. So that's pretty good. They managed to liberate finally the entire Crimean Peninsula, and the Red Team is rid of that territory. The Blue Team can finally go back to their capital now. They make a new push down into these southern areas of the Blue Country. I might have to just leave it like this for a little bit. Oh, this border stuff is gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful. And I'm gonna make you go through it. Come back. They finally liberate these areas, and they even make their way into the Greek country. These southern bits are kind of occupied by the Blue country, who obviously isn't as powerful as the red one, and these aren't too hard to liberate either, so that's good. Now, am I going to draw these borders right? Were there only 4 bits in the yellow country? Let's hope so. Yeah, they looked a bit like a chicken. That's good. Alright, so the yellow countries managed to reunite all of their territory. 2 major cities, wow. been invaded for about the 1000th time now, so they're getting pretty used to just having their cities razed to the ground. And actually, in a surprising turn of events, the purple and the blue country in Africa are helping each other. This is unprecedented stuff. The fear of being destroyed by the probably like the proportionately most powerful nation the world will ever know, maybe, US, has managed to make these guys want to help each other. So some blue team troops are helping out the Italian peninsula as they liberate some of these areas a bit. They're kind of going over here to Naples, and then doing it, not going through Sicily. Although Sicily and Sardinia liberated, and finally the entire ocean is too. Finally served the rest of Italy, as well as Sicily, so that puts a damper on these guys' plans to attack the Italian country. In return, Italy will help to liberate various areas of the blue country, as now the red team is being pretty much pushed out of this entire chunk. And now the blue team people are making their way into Libya to try and stop this. And people in the purple team are like, I remember when we went here and invaded this bit. You know, this is the best spot for occupying this city. Poor Libya. They're just not that powerful. They're just prone to getting occupied. It's just so easy to occupy these guys. Anyway, and boom. So now people are making it pretty close to actually getting into the red team. Let's check back on lime team and how their progress is going. They are managing to liberate further areas of Ethiopia, who is one of their best friends. A really good friend. You know, they might actually stay like that until the modern era. I think Ethiopia and India at the moment are quite good friends. I mean, they're both in BRICS, aren't they? Are they? They are. I mean, India is. They updated BRICS, and then it just got me really confused. Like, the main thing I remember about the new updated BRICS is where's Argentina? It's like Argentina's going to join. Where'd you go? Ethiopia isn't BRICS. So Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt. I want to say Iran, but I don't think so. I don't even remember how many countries there were in it. No. Sudan is just going to abstain from joining the war because they don't really care. But another country will join, this time being the orange country. Will come and liberate these 3 pieces of desert. Wow. And make their push into the deserty areas of the red country. So they managed to take some of these coastal cities with, of course, assistance from the lime team. Oh well. This small garage country makes a really huge push. Good effort, old chap. And I just keep destroying it for some reason. Into the southern areas of this area, the orange country will continue its push. And now it looks something like this. The lime team is not stopping as they manage to take the original first city of the red team down in Kuwait. The green team will manage to re-liberate their first capital city. That was like 3,000 years ago or something. And now people are actually going to try and liberate the brown country, because that would be a good idea. Quite a nice idea, actually. The grey country will finally join this war. You know, I don't think they've even been in one conflict, these guys. It's been really pacifistic. I don't even know if they had an independence war. I think they might have, but it probably wasn't that big of a one. Sorry. Oh, damn it. There's the border. There we go. Looked exactly like that, didn't it? So green team troops will be invading the brown country. Don't worry. Liberating it and stealing stuff and not being nice to people. They're liberating it. Don't look at what they're doing. He's not stealing all that money. Don't worry. Really, he's being a good person. Right, Jeffrey? So yeah, this is really not looking good for the red team. However, they're not inclined to give up in this war. They still believe that it is still a red team victory. Well, actually, no, nobody really believes that anymore because the entirety of the world is at war with them, basically. But their dictator, however, well, he has different opinions, and his opinions are mostly led by the fact that he's not okay in the head. He's just actually not thinking quite straight. So that's good. That is always good when you've got some crazed lunatic leading your country, especially when it is the strongest country in the world. I'm always happy when that happens in my country. The red country is just holding on to a final few last bits of the brown country now, and these bits are finally going to go up in riots. You know, people kind of like, get out of our country, mate, go away. And also this is centered around this area. It's like one division of the captured territories because it's so small, but it is that reddish-brown coloured country who's fighting against it. The blue team, they killed their king. They're going up in revolution against all the stuff that's happened to them. So their really bad king's been killed now. He's being replaced with actually an elected guy. They elected somebody in. He was like a high advisor dude, and everyone quite liked this chap. So they've elected him in. However, slightly too late. I think slightly too late. Is this right? Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, you've lost all your captured territory now, mate. If you really, really wanted to do it, probably should have done it a bit earlier. Because, yeah, people are coming to go into your country now. Thrace is being attacked, as the yellow country really wants Thrace, like hell not. The Greeks will be making their push into here. They take this area. There's even a few people. Remember that weird, like, dark, goldish coloured country that used to be here? Like, those people are kind of rising up, like, oh, we should have our independence. And then the yellow team is just going to make a quick stop to go and suppress those revolts. Just pretty speedily. Also, I've realised this video is 52 minutes long. Uh-oh. Let's do this quickly. Bish. Bash. Bosh. Boosh. Bam. Pow. Kerslap. Oof. Ow. And they've made it to the red team's capital. That is exactly the sound that the people were making. And finally, for the first time in human history, the red team's capital has been taken. Let's really quickly look at this peace treaty. Actually, it's maybe just not. I should have made a screenshot beforehand. I could have used the thing from the old video. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do looking at a peace treaty. Should we? Do you want to look at the peace treaty? I mean, I'll probably stick it as the thumbnail, but let's look at it anyway. So, the Greeks will be annexing some stuff in the west, and in this sort of general vicinity. So that is new Greek territory, and that's what they receive for winning this war, effectively. The yellow country will be receiving all Thrace. That's a pretty giant chunk of territory for these guys, and they are very pleased at the moment. Constantinople was a really fierce battle. The battle for Constantinople. However, they managed to win it, so that's cool. The next country we have annexing some stuff be the Cretan country. Actually, I don't know. It'll be the blue country, because, no, it'll be the brown country. So these guys have managed to take a little bit over here. It's a pretty large amount for that. The Crimean country will take this entire massive northern chunk of territory and then connect up with there. And then the Cretan country will take this massive area of stuff. Massive load of stuff. For their country, whilst the other team will annex this bit. Oh, damn it. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Crete. Yep, Crete actually has an empire now. I feel like it's fair in return. Crete has administered over a load of islands in a sort of colonial way-ish. They're all very autonomous, so they feel like it's fair to give them this. Also, the blue team people weren't very nice invading Crete because they're kind of like, we've just beaten a country. This hasn't happened for flipping years. Mostly times we just get pummeled by someone who's not very powerful. So it was pretty amazing for the light blue country. However, the light blue country is now gone, which makes me really sad because they've been here for an awfully long time. But Crete, bam, they're very strong. The Cretans now own Cyprus, which is cool. Yep, colony for those guys. There shouldn't be too much more of this left to do. Bam, brownish red country getting some stuff. Nice. Well, we've got 3.5 minutes left. I might just do this later. We could draw out some new countries. I might just leave it like this till the end of the episode. I feel like I might. That's not very good YouTube stuff. Actually. So I've just done that piece duty now. As you can see, the map looks different. Yeah. That's going to take a long time to fuse together. Because the longer the video, the longer it takes to fuse. Anyway, as you can see, red team, a lot smaller. I will sort out this bit afterwards. I completely forgot about that, but I've already started recording. And I don't want to fuse together 3 bits, so... Line team took over most of the anarchist purplish country, which isn't any of these 2 purplish countries here. They're just completely new things. Crete, big. This new pinkish country, we have this new golden one. The dark blue country took the Sinai Peninsula. The orange team is a lot bigger. Green team's a lot bigger. These guys got a bit more. They're meant to be united. But there you go. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. Do you like these longer videos more? Do you want shorter videos? What do you want? What would make it better? Have a nice rest of your day, anyway.